Today, I'm joined by a pretty recent friend of mine. You know, he is the king of podcasts in Westchester County. Angelo, welcome to the Mike Squires Friends Podcast.
I'm here.
Let's go, dude. This should be an easy podcast because you are a podcaster. You're in the world.
Oh, am I? My middle name is podcasting, man.
Let's talk about it, dude. So how did you even get into podcast? Like, how did this land and bestow upon you?
Oh, man. Yeah. I started listening to podcasts 2014, 2015 when I was a delivery driver for the Vibe Beverage Mart. And listening to this podcast called Brilliant Idiots with Charlamagne the God and Andrew Schultz. And long story short, man, I ended up going up in the building, working with Charlamagne and working with Brilliant Idiots. And this is like 2016. And I just studied the game. And then I took that knowledge and took that expertise and brought it down to a local level. And that's what I do. I produce podcasts for friends and family.
So how did that opportunity present itself? Like, how did you end up in the building?
Opportunities come to those who create them, man. So I created my own opportunities. Charlamagne came out with a book, Black Privilege. Or actually at the time it was Shook Ones. It was the second book. And I remember on the Brilliant Idiots podcast, I'm driving around. Actually at the time I had quit the beverage mart and I was working at Costco. And I remember Charlamagne saying, yo, if anybody wants to be my cameraman, I got an event coming up and shoot my book signing. I don't have any cameramen. And I was like, oh shit. So I went to the book signing with my camera. And shot him a recap, gave it to him that night.
You just showed up. You didn't hit him or like?
I didn't know him at the time. I was a fan. I was a random guy listening to podcasts. And Charlamagne on the podcast said, if anybody has a camera, come up to my book signing next Wednesday and I could use a recap. So I was the only one there, did the recap, gave him to him that night, and I ended up doing all of his recaps. I ended up just chasing him down. He had a whole book tour. So I ended up going to all the book tour signings and ended up finally asking him after like the fifth one. I drove down to I always forget the name of this college in Maryland that but I went to. Yeah, he did a speech at college in Maryland, Morgan State.
Okay.
And I drove down and he goes, damn, you drove down here for the recap, to film a recap? I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm about it. And I asked him, I was like, hey, do you think one day I could come up to the station or come into a episode of Brilliant Idiots and just sit in and be a fly on the wall? He goes, yeah, get my number from my assistant. Come tomorrow. We're recording tomorrow. And after that, just came every week after that, and the rest is history. We've just been networking with everybody in the building. Once I got in, once I got my toe in the door, I busted the bitch wide open and started talking to everybody in iHeart and 105 and just made connections up the wazoo.
No, I love that story too, because you know there's a lot of people that'll be like, how do I get in the game? But I mean, sometimes you just gotta show up. Showing up is like one of the most important things, and I love that. So you know, you go there the first time. Like, what's his initial reaction? Is he hyped that you're like, oh, somebody actually pulled up to do this, or like, what's his vibe the first day?
It's funny. Charlamagne don't really talk. I was cool with his bodyguard Wax at the time. And I would talk to him, and he'd be like, yo, stand here or do this. And I'm like, cool, because he don't really talk. You really just got to move the right way and peep what the hell's going on and stay on your toes and just not be in the way. Just film and do your job. You really just got to know what's going on. Like in this industry, when you're working at the highest level, everybody knows their position, everybody knows their role. I knew that I just got to be a fly on the wall and just film and come up with this recap by tomorrow, and I'm good. That's all I was worried about. And as long as I was doing these recaps, I was allowed to come to the next spot.
Yeah,
That shit was strict, yeah.
Knowing how to move is so important. And I think that's something that's overlooked in the game because I think people will get opportunities, they'll get too excited, and then, you know, they'll actually like end up scaring off the person they want to work with. You know, what's some advice that you could give on like how to move and things that you did that you think attributed to your success?
You know what you're there for, and less is definitely more. Yeah, I wasn't trying to be flashy. I knew I was just a cameraman. I was never trying to be bigger than the program. I was just a cameraman. I was just happy to be there and just.
Oh yeah, dude, it's time, dude.
Yeah, advice is just do your job, man. You're not bigger than a program, and play your role, and you'll be fine, man. Play your role, and if you eventually grow, you grow. But for the time being, play your role.
It's great advice, dude, because knowing your role in certain situations will actually end up getting you further to align with what you really want to do if you like, you know, have other goals and aspirations in life. Because it's like if you're trying to like force what you want to do in a situation that's not appropriate, it's like it's actually going to hurt you in the long run because people are going to be like, yo, we're trying to get this done over here right now. Like, yes, cool that you do that, but like not right now. We're already struggling with this thing over here.
Right. Yeah. You could be replaced by that. Like, oh, he's not about the bigger picture right now. He's focused on him when you're not part of the team, especially as a beginner, bro. Like when I first started working with Charlamagne, I had nothing going for myself at the time. I mean,
let's talk about that. What do you mean by that?
Like I was doing maybe music videos every now and then. And I was a beginning photographer, a beginning videographer. I literally had only owned my camera for maybe less than a year. And I started working with the biggest video personality in the world, just acting like I knew what I was doing, but I had no idea how to work my camera settings or anything. I had a Canon 70D with the basic kit lens that it came with.
What inspired you to even get into like film in the first place?
I used to do stand-up comedy.
I wanted to bring it up. I was gonna bring it up, but I'm glad you brought it up. So let's talk about it.
Yeah,
dude.
so I was doing stand-up comedy, and I was paying somebody to record my sets, and it was a waste of money because one, that shit wasn't funny, and two, what is he doing that I can't do? So I bought my own camera to record my own sets, and other comedians in the lineup would be like, "Hey, can you record my set too?" And I was charging everybody $20, $40 to record their set, and that's how I was like, "Oh, forget comedy. I'm just gonna make a business off of videography." And I started doing music videos and commercials and clothing line ads and stuff for local clothing line.
What was one of the first gigs that you did when you started to get more into videography?
My boy AJ Fowles had a hat line, a clothing line called MQA, and he always booked me. And I told him like, "Bro, I'm just starting." I go, "Bro, whatever you want to do. If you want to test out shots on this shit, you just fine. Just use it to test out shots." And he gave me a couple like opportunities to film. And I gotta give a shout out to the Dingle Hoppers too, which is a family YouTube channel who trusted me to get their YouTube channel right. They're making thousands off of my editing. I had just got Premiere. I was using cracked Premiere Pro 2015 for free, and I was learning how to edit and keyframe and do these vlogs just like how Mr. Beast or anybody would do, man. Just like, and I just taught myself and just repetition and keep editing every day. I was editing, and I learned new features. When I wanted to figure out how to do something, like how would I want to make this pop out like this and jump over something? I would just YouTube tutorial and find it out, and I just remember how to do everything, and just fell in love with editing, keyframing, and I have a whole sound bank of sound effects. It just all added up over the years, bro. It's a beautiful journey.
What's something that you remember from working with the Dingle Hoppers, dude? I love their name. I'm unfamiliar with them, but I think I'd be a fan of them based on the name.
Shout out to the Dingle Hoppers. Shout out to the FGTV family. They taught me that there's money out there in this content creation stuff, because they were going on trips to Africa and safaris, and I'm at home editing like, damn, must be nice. And yeah, they taught me SEO meaning search engine optimization.
Yeah.
And that thumbnails matter, that how you edit a thumbnail matters, keywords, and there's a science to titles and descriptions, and just a lot of stuff that people don't really think about when they're uploading something.
Oh, it's so important, dude. And I think it's just become more apparent over time, where it's like, because anybody who's getting into it, like, it's like anything. Like, I know they say don't judge a book by its cover, but when you're in content, it's like that the cover is literally what will make or break your...
There's so many options out there. What's going to catch your eye, man, for real.
Thank you for tuning in to the Mike Squires and Friends podcast. You can support by subscribing on YouTube or downloading on your preferred podcast platform. And definitely go do that, because it helps us grow and I can have more incredible guests on the podcast. The Mike Squires and Friends podcast is proudly sponsored by DistroKid. Looking to broaden your musical horizons as an artist? Discover DistroKid. With its smooth and rewarding music distribution platform, DistroKid offers unlimited uploads while ensuring artists retain 100% of their royalties and earnings. Join the community of over 1 million artists who trust DistroKid to distribute their music across major platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, TikTok, Tidal, and so many others. Having personally used DistroKid since 2018, I can attest to their superiority amongst distribution services. Collaborating with fellow artists has become effortless, especially with the ability to easily send splits of songs, streamlining the creative process. With the DistroKid app, accessing these benefits is now more convenient than ever. Safely sign up or log in with two-factor authentication, upload releases on the fly, monitor earnings, and withdraw funds from your DistroKid bank. Stay updated on royalties through push notifications, effortlessly share hyperfollow links, manage account details seamlessly, and track streaming stats from Spotify and Apple. Additionally, explore Mixia for professional-grade mastering, DistroVid for music video distribution, and Instant Share for secure file sharing with collaborators, producers, and more. The DistroKid app is available on both iOS and Android. Download it today from the App Store or Google Play Store to revolutionize your music career. Visit distrokid.com/VIP/Mike Squires to get 30% off your first year membership. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Mike Squires and Friends. So moving down the timeline, what's the next project that you take on after that? Like, where are you at in your career at the time?
I remember I was working at Costco, mopping floors at the bakery. and we're having to call out because I had to go to a book signing for Charlemagne, or Charlemagne he wanted to fly me out to Michigan to record at this mental health gym. And I remember I was calling out maybe twice a week. I finally put my 2 weeks in, and everybody knew it was coming. They supported me. Like, yo, man, we proud of you, and do your thing. So I quit Costco and started doing shit for Charlemagne full time. And I was doing the Dingle Hoppers vlogs too. And then was helping out with Brilliant Idiots. Then his Wax picked up, and L'Oreal picked up their own podcast called Bully and the Beast, and I started doing that. And so I was doing Brilliant Idiots and Bully and the Beast and Charlemagne content for a little bit. Then I graduated from that and just ended up just doing Bully and the Beast, and so ended up doing work for DJ Sus One. And this is all before the pandemic. Like, I've been in the game, I just realized, bro. And during the pandemic, I met Sus One for an event, or we had to do an interview at his house because everything was locked down. And he was like, bro, you're from Westchester too? I'm like, yeah, I'm from Westchester. We're both biracial. And we clicked, and I started doing all his video editing and content for him too.
Yeah, so where are you at now in your career? Like, what are some of the big things that you've been working on, and maybe talk about your network too?
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, I say all that to say I gained all that experience and all that knowledge to bring it back down to the hometown, man. You see, you heard that I worked with the best of the top influencers and the top radio personalities and DJs, and I feel like it's my duty to bring that back down to people and be the person that I needed when I was trying to come up. I love podcasting. What I love about podcasting is people get to tell their stories in their own unique way, and you get to take that long form content and cut it down to short form content and post it on social media and get instant gratification and instant love and feedback right off the rip. And you pick and what's the word I'm looking for? You
curate.
You capitalize off that, and you make your next move off of the feedback that you get. And that's what I love about it. It's a never ending journey, a never ending bag of opportunities when you're doing podcasting, because you get advertisements, you get live shows, merch. There's so many different things you can do with podcasting. I love every aspect of it.
Yeah, what's some advice that you'd give to somebody who's like just trying to get in the game as a podcaster now?
Yeah, you gotta want to be a podcaster. If you think it's gonna be a quick check, you're an idiot, man. You're wasting your time. You have to be a talker. You gotta be somebody that is passionate about talking and getting your idea across and telling your story. And that's the only reason why you should be doing podcasting. There's no other reason why, to be honest. To help, to influence, and inspire.
What do you think one of your biggest moments of success has been since you started this podcast journey?
Bro, my live show was stupid, bro. I outdid myself. There was no fights. Nobody got way too drunk. That was the most organized I've ever been in my life. Everybody was paying attention. Everybody was listening to direction. And that was my really coming of age moment as a CEO, as a podcast network founder. Like, bro, I really might be him.
Yeah, walk me through the night, dude. Tell me a little bit more. What were some of the things that happened during the night that you were like really impressed that ran smooth?
Yeah, I mean, I produced 5 podcasts, and I had 5 podcasts on the show, plus a panel. I had a DJ that was so tapped in and tuned in with the sound effects and on point.
What DJ?
I had DJ Drop. He was actually a childhood friend of mine. He grew up in Rye, New York, believe it or not. But lived out in Vegas, Idaho. He's actually in the middle of a DJ battle with like Redman or somebody, doing something at this big-ass venue in New Jersey, Barcode. Or I might be in the city, but he's doing some big beat turnout. Anyways, the live show was crazy. So basically, it was a Polymath podcast live show where the 5 podcasts I produced, they did an episode live in front of a live crowd. I had an open bar, DJ by DJ Drop for the cocktail hour, and he played during the show. And I did a panel about the secrets of content creation and podcasting with some of the bigger influencers in Westchester. And everybody did their thing. I copied a whole schedule from how iHeart does their thing through Excel. I just copied the format and put my own events and dates and times in, and I just did exactly how they do it up top. And that's what separates me, because nobody has been to the mountaintop, Mike Squires. Nobody has seen what I've seen.
The view up there is nice, dude.
Bro, the view up there is nice. I'm taking it down and I'm bringing it down to the local level. And that's why with Polymath, you got it's just the way to go, man. Polymath Studios, if you want to start your own podcast, is open. But I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen how the pros do it. Like, I can't name anybody, especially in Westchester, who's seen what I've seen podcast wise. Nobody has seen shit at the expert level, at the top level. I have. And the good thing about me is I'm not greedy and I'm not stingy. And I actually want to be the guy that's like, yo, how'd you learn this? Angelo, bro. Angelo taught me this. And I gained nothing from keeping it to myself. I'm not even making any money as it is doing this shit. So the least I could do is help somebody else out. Maybe they can help me out. Maybe they find out a way to make real money off of it.
Well, the one thing too that I've learned just about, because, you know, I've had a couple opportunities where I've been able to like see up what's going on up there too. And it's just like, you can tell everybody the sauce, but I feel like there's very few people that will actually act on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I think is like because I'm always happy to give out the game. And the craziest thing, and I'm sure you can relate to this sentiments, what works for me might not work for you. You know what I mean?
I'm not wearing a red, white, and blue jacket. I don't give a damn. I don't even want to wear a regular navy jacket, bro. I'll wear a V-neck before I wear a jacket. So yeah, you're right.
That's all I'm saying, dude. It's like you just kind of got to find what works for you. Is like I think a big thing that I want people to take away, because like, you know, people could copy your sauce and do it to a science, but at the end of the day, it might not even work because
it is so funny.
There's
bro,
so many more factors, you know?
I was shooting a couple drops for my boy C Tez, who does the Real and Uncomfortable podcast. And, you know, I'm Angelo, bro. Like, I'm a smooth brother, yo. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I guess you could say I'm handsome, whatever, man. So like, they had some girls there, some models in the studio. And I'm being like kind of snarky with them, but like in a cute, flirty way or whatever. And this boy C Tez, he looks like the actor that played Biggie Smalls in Notorious, if you will.
Okay.
And he just tried to say that be the same snarky little quick comeback jokes to this girl, and it just sounded so abusive.
You just
I was like, yo, Tez, don't ever repeat what I said ever again, because it does not sound the same when you say it.
Yeah, sometimes you just like, you know, some people, I don't want to say some people have the sauce and others don't, but like that's just kind of the truth of the matter. And like, it kind of goes back to what we were saying about like, you know, how to move and carry yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's a great example of him scaring somebody off. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, you know what I mean? It's like, so I don't know. I think how you carry yourself is like so important. I think it's just, honestly, I would say that it's more important how you carry yourself than how talented you are, because I think it's important to be talented. But I know from my experience of touring, it's like people would rather work with somebody who's less talented and a better hang because you're living with that person than somebody who's super talented and a dickhead, bro.
Yeah, all day. I'd rather work with somebody that's easy to work with that doesn't know what the hell they're doing all day, other than a know-it-all that wants to be a dickhead about it, bro. I'd rather teach somebody. You want to learn? Yeah, nice and humble. I'll learn. Okay, cool. I'd rather take that over an expert any day. That's an asshole, at least.
Yeah, and I think building with people is important too. Like, you know what I want to talk a little bit about? I want to talk about how you and Tim connected, dude. Tim is with us today.
Shout out to Timmy, man. Star Killer. Yo, Timmy, man. Can you come here real quick? I got a question.
Yeah, pop in, dude. Here. We'll do a swap out, dude. We can do anything on the Mike Squires. Yeah, just hop in.
I just had one question for Timmy. I never asked him.
Yeah, we can do it right here.
Hold on. What's up? It's your boy Star Killer to me. I got swapped in from Mike Squires.
Yeah,
what a legendary position.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Welcome to the life of Jayla. We outside.
Shit, wait, hold on.
I put my people out. I put my people on. Can't say I never put nobody on.
I'm outside right now.
I just had a question, man.
Oh God.
What did you come up with the name Star Killer?
Bro, I'm the Star Killer, the bomb bearer, the war wager, bro. No, Star Killer. If you know Star Killer, so all right. We're not getting into my whole past. It's about you.
I just had a question, bro.
It's a deep name. Star Killer is like the secret apprentice of Darth Vader. Star Wars deep cut. Anybody?
Star Wars.
No. Okay.
I saw it one time in a waiting, like the 1976 one though.
No, Star Killer is he's the secret apprentice of Darth Vader. No one knows about him. No one never knows about him.
Interesting.
So the way I came up with Lide was in the industry. I was not. I was always like talented behind the scenes. So I felt like I was always like, I'm just a secret apprentice waiting, right. You know what I'm saying? One day I'll get and here I am, finally. We did it.
This guy's crazy. Well, this is my cameraman, Timmy, man. And he also makes music. He also streams. And I met Timmy years ago. Man, he was part of a great group. Timmy knows what it's like to support people, man, be part of a team. Shout out to BBM.
I'm like yeah.
Shout out to BMM, Duval, and what's the tall dude's name?
Ty G.
Ty G. Shout out to the whole squad, lead everybody, man. And yeah, they've been moving, bro. They knew how to move. They were booking venues in the city, performing and getting special guests to come through and from 105, and they were doing the damn thing. So they knew how to move around in the industry for what it's worth, for what they knew.
And I'll have to say, I have to do like one shout out. Ty G, he was always the behind the scenes guy on my squad for years, 10 years. Yeah. He is finally like his own front of the lines. Like he's popping TikTok live. He does a music review show like every single day. And he's like doing his dreams of like,
right,
you know, curating music, putting that stuff out. So I'm proud of these guys. You know?
So how Timmy came about with Polymath was, bro, I ain't too proud to beg, okay? And closed mouths don't get fed and scare money don't make no money. So I asked for help, bro. I made a nice post saying, I'm hiring. Polymath is hiring, man. I'm hiring positions if you want to be part of the street team. I'm looking for cameramen, graphic designers, shit, anybody that want to paint my studio. Anybody that could do anything. I'm looking for a hand. And Timmy was one of the first people to DM me saying, bro, I'm down. Whatever you need, bro. I'm trying to be part of the team. And so Timmy does the camera work, bro. And I think it's been working well for me, Tim. How's it been for you?
Yeah, no, I love it. You know, I've been in the game, so like I understand what passion looks like. And when I see passion, like I like to link myself to it. If I see someone that really has a love for what they're doing and I see their vision, I'm like, yo, how can I get a part of this? Because, you know, you never know what I might learn or what I might gain out of it. I don't know. I just love like creating. That's all it is.
Yeah, we do, man. Timmy calls out of work sometimes. Timmy runs late to work. We'll come to the city if I need him.
Yeah, I got my girl yelling at me.
Wake up. Yeah, he'll do it all, man. I got him celebrating Juneteenth on Thursday, man. Shit crazy. All
right, Mike Squires, tap back in.
Yeah. Go look at Timmy.
Yeah, anything could happen here on the Mike Squires and Friends podcast. But you know, while you guys were talking, you brought up a solid point. It's like you can't be afraid to ask, dude. Yeah. And I think that, like, I think a lot of people are afraid. Bro, I'd be asking all day long because the worst thing somebody can tell you is no. And I also, like, to me, like, I'm okay. Like, you know, I mean, when you need help, dude, you need help, and not for nothing. When you need help, there's probably somebody who it's a great opportunity for. You know what I mean? Like, I see you guys as a dynamic duo too. I see how you guys work. The workflow is great.
He gets it.
From when we did the first walk and talk, like, you guys were dialed in. There was like no communication. You guys just were ready to go.
Yeah, bro. We've been doing it for almost a year, I feel like. Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about the walk and talks, dude. Like, what inspired it? I do know the story, but I want you to say it on camera. Like, what inspired the walk and talks, and you know, what are some of the things that you've learned along the journey of doing them?
Yeah, so I got this idea from doing the walk and talks from one of my favorite artists named La Russell, and he just does a daily stroll, is what he calls his version of it, and it's not really an interview. It's just him walking with his team. He's got his cameraman named Flash, and he got his like road manager Tiela, and he got his band with him, the violinist, and they just walk and they just discuss the game plan, what they're about to do for the week, and what they're trying to work on, and feedback from the past shows. And it's just a daily walk to decompress and just communicate with each other. And so I took that idea and I was like, bro, I could do that, and talk to people that I generally want to get information of and just pick their brains. So I came up with the walk and talk. And people could say, oh, you copying La Russell or whatever, but I interviewed him on a walk and talk. And he said it's cool.
So how do you, like, is it people reaching out to you or you reaching out to people? What's like the mix of it?
It's both. It's both. It's both, and it works out both ways because I like to reach out to people, but let's say I can't get somebody, I'll reach out to somebody that's already reached out to me. Like, all right, we could do a walk and talk.
I see what you're saying, dude. Because I'm pretty sure when we did ours, I reached out to you and I was like, because I saw your content, because, dude, I was looking to go on a podcast, but I was like, I didn't think like a regular podcast or something would do justice to like
the visual, bro.
The visual, bro. That's the thing, like, because, you know, at the time it was like, the Macy's thing was rolling out, and I was like, no, like, we need to like go stand out in front of that Macy's right now this week, dude. So like, we were able to connect over that. And anybody who's watching this who hasn't seen the walk and talk we did, you should go watch it, because it's kind of cool watching it in hindsight now, because that was before everything got started, and now we're on the other side of it. So it's like, it's a little memento of like, you know.
Nah, it came out dope. Everything is dope, man. Squires is unbelievable what he did. And when it comes to the walk and talk, that I just feel like that is perfect. I feel like nobody's doing anything like this. Like, why isn't 100 people doing a walk and talk interview?
It's so sick, dude. And like, so what's one of the, you know, outside of mine, of course, dude. What was one of your favorite walk and talks you did?
Yeah, yours definitely up there because we changed the world.
there was an
I'm
impact.
full still because we did that walk and talk. We just had a lunch at Terra Gaucho because
an incredible lunch at Terra Gaucho, dude.
Yeah, shout out to them. Use their Gaucho room. 30 people could fit in there.
Yeah, and their other private room holds 50 people, and you could celebrate anything from birthdays to quinceañeras to anything that is worth celebrating. And the food is incredible. You got to try the flaming cheesecake, and the pineapple with the cinnamon is incredible. We went for 2 rounds on that.
Shout out to Bruna, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bruna. If you have a baptism, a birthday, or a bris, you can book any event in the back room.
Yeah. Terra Gaucho, everybody. All right. Getting back to the walk-in talks.
There you go. We got ads.
Yeah. What was you know what I mean?
My favorite walk-in talk.
Yeah.
My La Russell one was dope because it was full circle moment.
Yeah.
Watching him, I'm like, damn, I like doing that idea.
How did that all come together?
I went to his concert and I waited till everybody left, and I waited outside. And there's only one way out the venue, and he went to the deli down the street. And I'm like, yo, Russell. He goes, what's up, my brother? Yo, you about to do a walk and talk tonight, or are you gonna do something tomorrow? He goes, yo, honestly, come here tomorrow. We'll do one. Cause I told him I was like, bro, I do a walk and talk. I'm so inspired by you, yada yada yada. I give him the whole runaround. Oh yeah, let's do an interview tomorrow. Come meet me here tomorrow. So the next day we went there. Me and Timmy pulled up to Brooklyn. I was like, bro, Timmy, I don't want to bother him. I don't want to text him. I texted him. He texted me right back. Yo, actually, I'm in Jersey. Here's the address. If you could get here, we'll do it. And Timmy had to go to freaking work. And I took an Uber, $80 Uber to Jersey City, and we did a walk and talk, bro. Whatever had to be done. I don't give a damn if it was $200 Uber. I'm taking that Uber, bro.
I've been there before. I've been there. I mean, dude, like the
Timmy was like, I gotta go, man. Good luck though. I'm like, you motherfucker. I would have called out.
That's right. I would have called out too, Tim. It's all
I go to fucking work, bro.
But no, like, dude, sometimes you gotta take those risks, dude, and like just forget about the money side of it. I mean, like, you guys know the opportunity I had behind the scenes. Do not say it out loud this time, dude.
Oh yeah, no.
Let it slip earlier, dude. I had an incredible, bro. Like that ran like the first time I went down there, bro. That ran me a stack, dude, and I didn't even know if it was gonna happen, bro. So I'm like, dude, that was the most I've ever like just. I was like, damn. Like the whole time I'm thinking like, yo, like this is like really like a vacation money that I'm like just letting rip on this potential maybe, dude. It was scary, dude. And I was like, you know what? Like whatever.
Yeah.
Because I think when it comes to money, dude, and stuff like. I think when you're a hustler, like I view myself as like I can figure it out no matter what, dude. You know what I mean? You tell me I got to do something, I will figure it out.
Right.
Like I don't know how you feel about that, but I bring that up because you strike me as somebody who could figure it out no matter what, too.
Yeah, I tend to have a feeling I have to do that more often than I should. I don't like that. I'm tired of it, to be honest.
It sucks. Like
I'm tired of always having to figure it out. I gotta figure this out again. I'm tired of it. God damn it, it's Mike Squires. I'm fucking tired of it.
I think it's a never-ending journey, though. I think like you're ever just like as long as you want to keep going and leveling up and trying to like make things happen for yourself, like. Because no one's going to figure it out for you, dude, especially if it's like your dream, your goal. You know what I mean?
Especially if you're trying to get better every day and try to do something different all the time.
Yeah, all the responsibility lands on you always. So, you know, and bro, it's like tough. I was showing you a text message I sent to my girl here, and I was like, yo, I want to give up. That's something like.
Going through it.
Bro, there's like, those are words that like I never say, dude. And let me just put it out there that I never actually would give up. But
you're
like
a gaslighter, bro.
But I never would. I never would give up. But like,
babe.
I mean, there's some low moments in this, though. You know what I mean? Like, what's a struggle or something that like you had to overcome in this journey? Because I know there's no way you're in this game and everything has been hunky dory, dude.
No, it's nothing that's like life ending. Because a lot of the shit that happens to me is like, we'll get through it. Like I produce podcasts, man. I'm trying to run a successful network. And I'm on my like third wave of podcasts on the network, bro. I've been doing it for like 3 years, Polymath. And podcasts, I just feel like sometimes, I don't want to say I'm wasting my time with them, but when you do only like 10 episodes and you're like, decide not to do it anymore, it's like, bro, what was the point of this? You know?
Yeah, what do you like? So what makes a podcast successful for you? You know what I mean? Like what separates?
Consistency, man. That's why when people reach out to me, and they're like, hey man, can you get us started with a podcast? We have an idea. I'm not doing that anymore, bro, because you guys aren't podcasters. You guys are friends that had a nice group chat and you're like, hey, well, we should start a podcast. I'm not doing it. I'm trying to, God. And this is my first time like saying it, because I used to be friendly. Like, hey, if you have a podcast and reach out to me, it's not even like that anymore, honestly. To get my attention, you got to have a podcast that's running, and you reach out to me if you just need a boost. That's how you get my attention.
It makes sense because they got to do the groundwork themselves. You know what I mean? Because it's like you just don't want to have like you could like I said, it goes back to what I said, but you can hand them the sauce, but like most people won't act on it. You know what I mean? So it's like you pretty much have to have your own thing going, and then you'd be like
I know what I bring to the table.
Yeah, the little sprinkle on top to like boost everything up.
Yeah.
Like You know?
Exactly.
Like, you have to have the cheesecake and then the Terra Gaucho people have to come in and light it on fire.
That's what I am. I'm the Terra Gaucho. I'm the flame. You bring the cheesecake to the table and let me flame it up and crush your outsides.
Exactly, dude. That's a great comparison, dude. I mean, I
We
rarely
put a little fire under that podcast.
I rarely put clips into my podcast, but I might have to put the flaming cheesecake right here so people know what we're talking about, dude. Like we said, Terra Gaucho has a private room that holds 50 people. The Gaucho holds 30.
The gauchos will cook right in front of you in the gaucho room.
Well, you know, what do you see for yourself in the future, dude? Like, I'm curious what you see for yourself, man.
I'm gonna make $1 million, bro, and I know exactly how I'm gonna do it, and it's the most beautiful thing ever.
Can you say it out loud? Or?
Yeah, bro. I'm just gonna build up Polymath, man, and Spotify, Amazon. Somebody's gonna want to be part of it. I don't know if it's gonna be one of those. Cause it's gonna be a network or a company of that nature, and it's not. I'm not gonna sell it, but it's gonna be a partnership, and it's gonna be something where it's gonna be a bag.
Can you run me
through
through?
Bag.
Can you run me through all the podcasts like right now that are part of the network?
Yeah, so we have 4 active ones right now. You know, a couple of them fell on the back burner, taking a break. Like I said, these are people. These are not, you know, and these are not real media people, man. These are people from Westchester County that have 9-to-5s that have a special talent, and I'm helping them get that talent out because they don't have the knowledge or the expertise like I have. So what we have right now, the core 4. What I like to call it.
That's a good name for it.
The core 4, we got Real and Uncomfortable with E-Man Music, C-Tez, and Raven Brown. And they're talk about music, like, you know, music, shade room type stuff. So drama, gossip, celebrity gossip, hip-hop culture. Second, we got Nothing's Normal. Shout out to my boy Spanx, Leon Spanx Steele. He's a boxer, who's an amateur boxer who runs his own boxing gym, and I guess we call his podcast style barbershop talk, where he interviews people from Westchester that deserve a spotlight, that might not have the spotlight they have, and gives them a nice casual conversation, gets to know them from page 1 to page 100 from the beginning. He gets the beginning of the story till now. Third would be Talk to Me podcast with Cassandra Hurley. That's Timmy's favorite. So Timmy is...
Why is this Timmy's favorite?
Because this girl is a hoot, man. Shout out to Cassandra Hurley. And she is a psychic / medium. So, and / life coach / energy reader. And she be spot on, bro.
Does she ever say something that scares the guest, though?
I would assume so. I think that...
Yes, yeah.
I would assume that what scares her because she'd be so spot on. Like, if you were at my live show, she pulled up random people to the stage as guests and read them. And one girl ended up crying. She was like, "You don't know me from ass crack," whatever she said, a hole in the wall or something. And you hit my life spot on. And it was just crazy.
That's crazy, dude.
So,
I would love to have actually, I don't know if I'd love to have it. I'd be terrified, dude. She'd be
telling
looking
you.
in the crystal ball. She'd be like, Macy's, oh, what? Oh, no. Macy's was great, but what am I seeing here?
Yeah.
It's foggy. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, she's just like looking at me. She'd be like, yo, let's get
bro,
the
you'll
next person
find out.
up.
If you want to do this promo run for your 50 states, you be on their podcast, bro.
I'm in, dude. Whoever will have me that's in your network,
Yeah, everybody
I will
will
do it. Oh, then I'll do it, dude. You just let me know. I would love to do it in a perfect world, we line them up and I just go down there and bang them out.
Talk to Me podcast. She had to come up because she actually lives in Ocean City, Maryland. So she comes up to record, or we might be able to do it through Zoom, but I like to do it in person.
I'm a big in person. I think so. Talk to me about this, but I'm a big I don't like doing the Zoom calls because I think there's I don't know. There's something that just doesn't connect with me. Like, I feel like the clips are just like not, unless you're like filming it on your end like properly. Like, I don't know.
Exactly, because most of the people that do the Zoom podcast, they're not editors, man. I could do a Zoom podcast, like Bully and the Beast, which I produce as well with Wax and L'Oreal. It's done through Zoom, but the way I format the overlays and I make it look like it's an ESPN show almost, where it's like a nice overlay.
There needs to be some sauce to it. That's what I'm saying. Like, because I see a lot of these podcasts where they'll they'll literally slap the Zoom call up and call it a podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, this looks terrible, dog. Like, and me as somebody who is very brand conscious, like, I don't want to do anything that looks terrible.
Ghetto, no half-ass shit, no ghetto shit on my page. Absolutely not. But let me get into the 4th podcast on the network,
my bad,
man. The 4th and the newest podcast on the network is the Just Jay podcast with my homegirl, Jayla Hill, man. And she's actually a unique podcaster because she does a lot of her episodes dolo, alone. And she just talks about her week, talks about her day, talks about her life, talks about her relationships. And that's one of the podcasts that made me realize, oh yeah, I'm done starting people off from scratch. Because Jayla did everything on her own from scratch and worked her way up for enough for me to take her seriously. Had her garage, turned her garage into a studio set. You know, her audio and camera work wasn't the finest, but it was the consistency and the content and the passion that she had, bro. That I was like, oh yeah, I know that if you came on the Polymath, you would put that work in times 100, and she has. She's been reaching out to guests. Her views been going up. She's promoting on her own. I don't got to cut as many clips or posts because she's making shit on her own. And that's what it takes to be a podcaster, man. You got to put your own work in too, and just help and use the community. She's reached out to every podcast and cross-branded, and every guest that I've had, she's reached out and had them as a guest too because she's smart. You know, good content is good content.
What's one of the most successful podcasts that you've done, regardless of like whose it is? Like it could have been any of the ones on your network.
On my network, Real and Uncomfortable, man, they really know how to promote their stuff. And the thing about it, like I don't know what really determines what makes a podcast successful, because every podcast has had their highs and lows. So, you know, Spanx got to interview some street motherfuckers, and they were just talking about gangs and stuff and peak skill or something crazy. And that episode has 25,000 views. Meanwhile, Real and Uncomfortable, they might not get that 25,000 views. They might get a couple hundred views on an episode on YouTube, but they're getting 1 million views on Reels on Instagram. So everybody is successful on my network in their own way.
No, it makes sense to me. What do you think, like, really?
Oh, wait, don't even get me started on a Judge Jay podcast and a Jayla.
I would like to get you started on the Judge Jay podcast.
I don't know what it is, but a Jayla, her audio streams and her audio downloads are through the roof. So people tune in. Like, I guess every podcast has their own audience and their own medium of content. Instagram for Real and Uncomfortable, YouTube for Spanx and Nothing's Normal, and audio for a Jayla. And it's just a beautiful thing to witness.
Yeah, what do you think are things that like help take these podcasts to the next level? Because I know it's probably situational for the person, but like, you know, what are some things that you have worked on and like tried something out and you're like, oh, this really worked out for this person?
Merch, bro. Merch is dope. It's a beautiful feeling when I went to the city. I designed the merch from scratch on Photoshop. I went to the city, felt material, felt different shirts and stuff, and I made 20 shirts for each podcast. And what surprised me was when I did my live show, I set up a whole merch table, and how many people just flooded the table and was buying merch left and right. And to see people to this day, like I'm scrolling on Instagram looking at stories, like, oh shit, that's a Real and Uncomfortable t-shirt. Or that's a Polymath shirt. Oh shit, let me like that. And nobody told you to wear that. You're just wearing it because it's fire like that.
It is a good feeling, dude. I know that feeling too. It's like, it's insane, but it's so good for your brand too. And like, I always tell people, like, just try to get the merch out there too. Like, obviously, like, you know, there is a goal to like make money in that, but I'm like, dude, like sometimes if you just get it out there and like do it at an affordable rate for people and get it out there, it's like way more impactful than had you have like tried to get the full top dollar for it.
Guess how much I pay for, guess how much it cost? Guess how much my shirts cost if you're want to support?
To buy them?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I want to, you tell me, dude.
Name a price.
It was less than $20.
No, it's name a price. You pay what you want for it.
Oh, name a price. I thought you were telling me to name a price. Oh, that's fire, dude. Well,
yeah.
To my point exactly. You know what I mean? We've never spoke about this before, but that's exactly it,
Let me give you an example. So at my live show, I had all the shirts on the table, and my mom and my sister were working the table. And I had a couple barcodes, QR codes, what you call them nowadays. And it was just, I just loaded up my Venmo and my Cash App, and you put your own number in. You know, I had my mom like, you know, $10 would be nice when something like around that era. Don't give $1, you fucking cheap motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, like, and I think when you do that, people are respectful.
Yeah,
too.
no, nobody
you know
nobody
like,
OD'd. Nobody OD'd like that.
Yeah,
I think the cheapest
like,
shirt was like $5. But,
a penny, dude.
Yeah, but I'll be glad to get $1. If you're gonna wear it, yeah, by all means, just pay what you want. If you're gonna wear it, yeah, I don't give a fuck. It's free advertising. If I can make a couple dollars off of it, so that's what I do. I do pay what you want.
No, it's a genius strategy to it. I've done it with like albums and stuff in the past, because like. Yeah. Bro, I hate the idea, especially when you're just trying to push something, or it's like, I hate the idea of like money getting in the way of like, you know, because people are in different financial positions. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, I even did a point, like when I did my album, like granted, my shipping was like $4 or $5, but like, you know, you could pay as little as a penny for my album when you got it, like for a couple, like I did a little run of that, just because it's like, I'd rather you have it than like it's sitting in the box over there. You know what I mean? It's like, it's doing me no good there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just something for people to consider, like when they're getting their merch game up. And also, like you're saying, like creating something tangible. Very cool, dude. It's like, it's a lot different it's a whole different, like we create content all day. We're looking at screens. Our eyes are probably shot for the rest of our lives because of it. Yeah. But when you have something that you physically make, like, and could put it on the wall or something, it's
how you make money. Because people always ask me like, yo, you've been getting podcasts. How much you getting off of YouTube and stuff? Like, bro, I'm not monetized on anything, to be honest. I make my money off of reaching out to companies and promoting their brand on the podcast physically and going straight to the consumer.
Let's talk about that, dude, because I think that's something that could be helpful. Because I mean, I have a sponsor for this podcast. I got DistroKid, and I reached out to them, dude.
That's fine.
They're the little gremlin guy right there, dude.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's Distro himself.
Yeah, dude, little Gremmy, dude. But yeah, like, and because people ask how I got that sponsor all the time, and it was me reaching out to them about my 50 States project, and they basically were like, oh, we don't have the infrastructure to do like a music project the way that we have our system set up. But they're like, we see you have a podcast. We'd love to sponsor that. So that's how it came to be for me. But to your point, it's like, how do you go about it?
Yeah, I feel like it's easier to get sponsors and stuff from people you already have relationships with, just so they have a better understanding on how you're moving and what your vision is. Yeah,
Is it a lot of local sponsors? Like what type of people are you tapped into?
Yeah, I mean, right now Polymath doesn't have like sponsors. It's something I'm working on per episode, but like for example, the audio subscription, it's a couple $100 a month, and Legally Highest, which is the world's first THC seltzer, they sponsor that. They covered that, and I met them through DJ Sus One. They were invited to dinner and a movie, and I just introduced myself. We follow each other, and they see what I was doing. They were like, "Hey, we'd love to be a part of this because it's a brand. Our audience is our audience is the same age range, demographic, if you would." So we figured out something that worked for the both of us, and we're both satisfied. And I needed to just get that bill paid. It was like $500 for the year, and they were like, "Yeah, we got you." So we just shout them out. Yeah.
You just brought up an interesting thing too, just like about like, how much does it cost you to like keep your production studio, and like what is that like? Can we talk about that? Am I asking too much?
No. So my studio, Polymath Studio, is just open, so I still gotta face the consequences of opening this up. It hasn't been a month yet, so
no, I feel it, dude. I definitely feel that.
So far it's so good, but what I do as of right now is I charge a production fee. It's nothing crazy because I want to see my podcast stay consistent. So I charge the podcast host a convenient production fee,
and just to help keep the lights on, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I got it.
Because I make money elsewhere, bro. I make real money elsewhere. So I'm just doing this so it's like a tip, bro, for my time. I edit for you guys. I make sure the audio and videos.
It just keeps you like, you know what I mean? So that this way, like your whole operation, it's like not costing you like, you know what I mean? It's not.
I spend all day editing.
You're not spending the time and the money. You know what I mean?
Because you spend all day editing clips for yourself.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm doing it for 5 other podcasts and myself. And I do my own walk and talks, and I do my own interviews, and I do my own shit. So I'm editing all day. So it helps.
Is it just you, or do you have like other people that do clips?
Nah, it's just me. Real Uncomfortable, they edit their own clips. Sometimes Spanx edit his own clips, but they don't slap like mine, man. That's what it is, man. I'm an editor, bro. I love the editing shit. It helps them when they do their own posts, but they don't. You want to go viral? You want me to edit your shit, bro?
So walk me through your process. You shoot the entire podcast for them, correct?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Spanx does his own thing at Greenleaf Studio. I record and produce Real Uncomfortable. Jayla, she might do a studio out there. She's from Long Island, so she might do a studio out there, or she might come up to Ardsley. But Cassandra might just do something through Zoom. But everybody has their own different way of getting their shit done.
I'd be curious. I bring this up though because I have my Mike Squires and Friends podcast, which in some aspects has been great for me. It has been overall the podcast has been great, but it's something that I feel I could use help on. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm talking in real time. I'm curious, like, somewhere I lack heavily is on my clips. I don't want to say lack. It's just my focus gets shifted, right? So sometimes I'll be down, like doubling down on my podcast, like working on that. And then sometimes I'll be like, oh man, I got to move 50 states down the line. Or, I got to go shoot some content out there. It's like, it's a lot for me to juggle, dude. So it's
one thing I use to combat that is I use ChatGPT.
I'm big on chat too.
I have a list of all the things I need to do, and it makes me a schedule for the week.
Oh man, I haven't, bro. Why have I not done that?
Yeah,
dude? If you
bro,
saw my thing, it's like, dude, my life is a hot mess. You saw me miss a meeting today.
Yeah, so I had to do all that. My schedule this week is all set out. I woke up at 6 o'clock, got some work done, had time to catch the train. I told ChatGPT it's all fucked up how I ask it to. I'm like, I gotta do this on Friday, then I gotta do this on Monday. Actually, I'm like, oh shit, I still gotta do that, and I go back and forth, and it lines it all up. Okay, so 9 o'clock to 9:30, and then from like 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. you have time to edit this, and then from 3 p.m. take the train here, and then you get there by 4 o'clock, and then breaks it down for me by the hour, and it puts the things that will make me money up in the morning, so I get the money making things done out the way, and it's like helps me, and it's like, oh, 8:30 you might have time to clean your room. I'm like, oh, I fucking should clean my room, and it just helps me out, and it's so organized.
Yeah, bro, I have never thought of it for scheduling, but like honestly, I could use that, bro.
Just overload it with fucking all the shit you need to do throughout the week, and it's gonna.
You know, because I'm good with Google Calendar, but what happens to me is like sometimes I won't slate enough time for the thing that I'm doing.
What might even be fire with the Google Calendar if you I think you could export that as like a CSV file and then just paste that shit right into ChatGPT and like, can you just
fine tune this for me?
Yeah.
All right, I gotta get into that, dude.
Yeah.
Angelo, what's something that like we might not know about you? What's something that like a random fact, something that could be from your childhood, could be something now, hidden talent, just something that no one would ever know.
Bro, I was a top 5 sousaphone player my senior year in high school.
Sousaphone.
That's the tuba that wraps around you in the marching band. Boom, ba boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. That was me. I was on the front page of the yearbook. Oh man, I miss it, man.
Front page of the yearbook?
Yeah, it's so fucked up though, because I shouldn't have been on it. Bro,
what's going on here? What do you mean I should have been on it, dude?
I'm a huge football person, bro, and I wanted to play football my whole fucking life. Kindergarten, I was a water boy for the Rye Gardens, man. I was the Rye Gardens #1 fan, man. I love football. My junior year came, I was my time, man. I got to put that G on my helmet. I'm about to play varsity football, bro. Yo, tell me how I'm one of the first people, the only people in Rye High School history to get cut from the football team, bro. Me and like 4 people, and like 4 lose. Like one kid was mentally challenged. Like, bro, how am I getting cut? I'm actually decent. It just wasn't fucking with me, bro. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna get in that field somehow. And I was like, bro, the band teacher was like, bro, you understand you're filthy at the tuba. We need you on the band for the national anthem. I'm like, this is so fucking humiliating, bro. I should be on the fucking team. So, by the way, so this is for the Wright Harrison football game, which is like a college level football game for high school. It's 5,000 people in the venue. It's a sold out game. Everybody and their mama's there, from class of 1967 to people pregnant with class of 2095. So, bro, it's a sold out thing. I'm in the band uniform. It's just, well, long story short, the national anthem. Harrison Huskies come out with the whole like drumline uniform, the hats with the feather coming out. Wright High School is like looking like the cucumbas from Hardball. We got our uniforms like a white collared shirt with the Rye High School band on it, bro. And I got this big ass, dumbass white tuba wrapped around me next to these like legends of like Harrison looking like a college band, and I'm just making fun of them. And I'm like with the next one with the tuba, because we did the national anthem together, and someone took a picture of me doing that and put that as the front page of the yearbook. And all that because I didn't make the football team.
So what's the lesson to be learned there?
Bro, you just gotta play. Life is a game of poker. And no matter what card or no matter what hand you're dealt with, you gotta fucking play. You gotta fucking play, bro.
You gotta play, dude.
No matter what card you're dealt with, no matter what hand you're dealt, you gotta fucking play the game.
You gotta play the game, dude.
You gotta fucking play no matter what. You gotta throw something in. Bro.
I feel it, dude. I do feel that.
No matter what, bro. They're gonna try to clown you. They're gonna try to play you. Play the fucking game, bro. Make it your game.
Play the game.
What should you scream for? This is your theme park.
Dude. Win the game.
During the game. Yeah, win the game.
Win the game, dude. Figure out the game, play the game, win the game, dude.
No matter what kind of stones they try to throw at you, no matter what kind of speed bumps you gotta go over it. Bro, you gotta get over it, bro.
Through the trench, not over it, dude.
And have fun doing it.
Fun is the most important thing, dude. I truly believe that, dude. I know that sounds cliche and corny, but like,
I love a good challenge.
Bro, having fun makes just makes everything so much easier. You know what I mean? Like,
gotta have fun, bro.
If you don't have fun,
my phone's over. Let me see. Let me just try to load up this photo real quick, bro.
Oh, it's the tuba photo?
It's gotta be on. It's on Facebook, or it's gotta be on my.
I gotta see this, dude.
It's gotta be on my favorites.
Yeah, because I got a couple more questions before we wind this down, but
yeah.
Bro,
I'm having a great time.
Me too, dude. I just need to see you wearing a tuba, dude. I'm glad I asked that question.
Timmy, I showed you the photo before? Bro, bro. I was amazing at the tuba. They loved me in band, bro.
Would you ever bring it back?
I want to play. I taught myself how to play saxophone one summer. Like, I'm a very musically inclined. So to answer your question, like,
gotta get you back in the studio, dude. We gotta get you over there in the booth next time.
I had all the Harvard bound students. Like, I took a digital music class my senior year, and all the Harvard and Yale bound students they're like want to be partners with me because I knew how to play the piano.
Bro,
for Easy A. It was dope. It was a dope feeling.
There's not enough tuba in mainstream music, I think, dude. Now that I'm thinking about it, when's the last time like you heard Kendrick rap over a tuba beat, bro? When's the last time Drake had the tuba in the mix, dude? These guys there's a lack of tuba in the industry, and I think we need to get down to the bottom of it. You could be the savior, bro. Nobody's doing that, dude.
Tuba.
Bro, you know what I mean? Like mainstream, like Sabrina Carpenter's new record, fucking just a tuba beat, though.
I gotta check her out. Everybody's been talking about her lately.
Are you unfamiliar with who Sabrina Carpenter is?
Very unfamiliar.
That's crazy, dude. I mean, it's not like I'm a fan. I can only name a handful of songs, but, you know, I'm not a fan. You know what I mean? I'm kind of indifferent.
Do I know any of the songs?
You know Espresso, dude. No, me Espresso.
Perhaps.
That's crazy, dude. You might not be able to hear this on the mic, but Tim just let us know that he has the emote for Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso on Fortnite, and I need that information to be known.
Hold on, I'm just gonna check my Facebook profile pictures real quick. If it's not there, then we can continue. Hold on.
No, you're good, dude. But in the meantime, I'm gonna ask you this, dude.
Yeah, bro.
What's your message to the world? If you wanted to be remembered for one thing, what would that thing be, dude?
If I want to be remembered, man, I tried, bro. I tried to create opportunities for people. I tried to create experiences for people. I tried to create content for people. I tried, bro, and I try to provide for people that I just use I know I'm blessed. I know I'm blessed. I feel like to a certain extent I'm chosen for certain shit because my work ethic, and I've seen things that even if somebody did my exact path, they probably wouldn't get because they don't have my personality. And I use those blessings to give to others, and that's how I want to be remembered. Because I could have been a dickhead, I could have been an asshole, I could have been stuck up and ignored, and Angelo don't represent his community anymore. And I want to be remembered for doing the complete opposite.
I love that, dude. Couldn't have said it better myself. And I feel like you're not trying, you're doing, dude.
I'm doing me on the low, but doing me is doing others.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Hey, yo. Well, I do want to see this tuba photo before we get out of here,
yeah,
dude.
it's on here somewhere, bro.
But, yeah, I mean, if people want to connect with you and find you, how can they, dude?
Yeah, guys, there's mad ways you could connect with me. I'm on all social media platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, man. Angelo Scarfone, just type that in and you'll see it, man. Polymath on Instagram too, Polymath Network. Guys, you got to check out my YouTube channel, the Polymath Network. I do walk and talk interviews, daily vlogs. I do a series called $100 or Less where I hit up stylists and fashion designers and people that are in the clothing industry, and they help me get right and get me styled up for $100 or less. Very fire, man. And if you are a stylist and would like to be a part, please reach out. I'm trying to do some new episodes. And, bro, I do a live stream now. They say at 33, what you doing streaming at 33? Too old. Don't listen to them. Do whatever you want. I don't give a damn if you're 60 years old, man. Stream. Do whatever you want. There's no ramifications. This is your life. This is your life, bro. So I have a live stream with my homegirl Samari. It's called Streaming Sundays, man. We just be chilling. If you want to pull up to the live stream, feel free to pull up. Send me a DM. But that's my same Instagram name, Angelo Scarfone on Twitch. And we do that every Sunday, bro. Mike Squires, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, it's been real. And just in case people were curious, here is the photo of you.
Yeah,
we're just going to pop it up on screen. Unless you don't send it to me, then it's just going to be me here saying there's a photo right here. But we'll pop the photo of, because everyone's been wondering about this photo of Angelo in the white tuba. So here it is. And thank you for coming on the podcast, dude. I'm sure this is not our final. I'm sure I'll see you soon, dude. We've been on a nice little run right now.
Bro, I'll probably see you Sunday.
Oh yeah. We're back to Terra Gaucho, which I need to remind you guys that they have two rooms. They have the Gaucho room that holds 30 people, the private event room that holds 50 people. Yeah, dude. And some of the greatest food that you'll have in the Stamford, Connecticut area.
Yeah, great service, great hospitality. That's how it's done.
Amazing team. Yeah.
I had a grown man pull out my seat for me and tucked me in.
It was mad cute. It was mad cute. And then they lit the cheesecake on fire, which we've talked about too on this pod.
Yes.
But Angelo, thanks for coming on the pod, dude. It was a great episode.
I got you, bro.
I think there's a lot of gems too for people that are curious about getting into podcasting, because like some people just don't know where to start, you know?
Right.
And it's a good way to get in the door.
Yes, sir.
You're still waiting for the photo?
What you mean?
Let's go! Damn, man, we need to close up on that. Hold on, I'm bringing it right to the camera. Look at that. That's how.
Yeah, didn't I describe it perfectly? I was looking. They were dressed like it's a college football game. They had the uniforms on, and our high school was like the Cucumbas, a cheap ass uniform. We was a white T-shirt. Please wear black pants. You have your own. I have the same sneakers as you on right now.
It's amazing, dude.
Same condition.
We're not getting a better outro than this, dude. So we gotta go.
Oh yeah.
Peace, dude.